All right, we are back. I am still Matt Stevenson. We are now with Kai Rohr, the CEO and founder of Culture. You guys are doing something that I think is pretty unique and interesting. As opposed to really focusing on the technology and the hardware, you're coming at this from a different angle. What's happening at Culture?
So, Matt, we are focusing on security culture. Basically, we look at people, the people side, what people are, what they are not, what they are doing, and how they influence each other to create great or not so great security cultures.
And this isn't just training. I mean, everybody's got their courses and, oh, you guys have to pass these certifications. You guys are doing something that's deeper, a little more esoteric approach. What is that?
So we don't do trainings at all, actually. What we do is measuring security culture, meaning we can figure out who are the weak link in your company. We can figure out how the different departments, how the different business units compare to each other when it comes to security culture and behaviors. And then we provide a benchmark, industry benchmark, so that companies can compare themselves to something out there and know that, okay, we are talking about the same thing.
And in the grand scheme, we're not just doing a product pitch here. I think you're speaking to a larger issue that as an industry, maybe even as a society, that we need to start thinking along these lines. How is your work and similar types of companies impacting security now that this stuff is happening monthly, weekly, almost daily, with different attacks coming from different angles?
So we hear a lot about this human is the weakest link and insider threats and all that kind of stuff, right? My belief is that it's a lot of people in our industry who looks for an excuse for not doing their job, if I may. And then, okay, so hit that target. It's the people, it's the employees, they are not doing their job. While in fact, we can solve a lot of these things by technology and by policies. And our research are very, very clear on this. We need to move away from just telling or blaming people and then giving them some awareness campaign and then hoping for the best. We need to move to change their behavior. And to do that, we need to look at psychology. We need to look at sociology and understand what is influencing you, Matt, and what is influencing me, and how the two of us influence each other, and we don't even notice.
And this is deeper than just sitting through the corporate video and making sure I've ticked the bright boxes, I got my 85% and I pass. The kind of research that you've done, what are you seeing in the industry? What are you now aware that needs to be changed? And what are you seeing that's the good things that need to be emphasized and passed on to other groups?
So one of the things we see is that there is a gender gap when it comes to risk assessment or risk acceptance and risk understanding. And this leads us to believe that as an industry, and especially as professionals in InfoSec, we need to take this into account when we plan how to do these programs. So for example, a good gender balance seems to be a very good idea based on our research.
And when you say gender balance, we all know that women are certainly a larger growing percentage inside the tech sector. Are there anything to jump out the difference between men operate and women operate, the positives that can be gained from looking at each individually?
So one of the things we see is that men generally rate themselves higher when it comes to understanding risk and understanding technology. And we also see that men don't hide the fact that they don't really do as good. So what we see here is me being, cocky, big, I know better, which means that I probably don't have to do better. And then on the opposite side, we have my wife, who will be more humble in her perception of herself and her abilities, but also show better behaviors.
So the arrogance can lead to some exploitable areas because of the men, whereas the women have a little more humble approach and they can be tougher to get past if you're the bad guy trying to work their way in.
Exactly.
And anything that, as we're looking to get more information about this, where can people looking to go? What can they find out, dig deeper into this story? We gave them one nugget, but there's a lot more going on here.
So I'm very happy that you asked that question, Matt.
Shameless plug.
A couple of weeks ago, we published the Security Culture Report 2017. Here we have surveyed more than 10,000 employees across the bank and finance industry in the Nordics, 2 countries, and all our findings are in here. some very fascinating. We mentioned the gender. There are some other stuff as well. For example, how experience and age matters, and how awareness is not driving the change we need. For that, we need norms.
When I think by this point, we hope everybody's aware of things. It's now we've got to apply that awareness, make these people better at what they do so they can be better at what they do.
The problem with that is that that is based on the rational economic theory, which has been debunked for at least 50 years by smart people like Daniel Kahneman, who actually got a Nobel Prize, or almost Nobel, it's same, for his theory on behavioral economic science, meaning that we are driven not by rational decision making, which awareness is based on, but by emotions. I will share stuff with you, Matt, because you make me feel something. Bad stuff or good stuff, that depends on the emotion you instill in me.
Well, I think that's even the nature of IT. It's built on binary, right? It's built on ones and zeros, but we see that's not always the case. That's the bad guys now can start infiltrating based on emotional response as opposed to rational response. So for folks who want to get more information, whether it's about culture, if they're looking for you out in the world, where can they find you?
On getculture.
.com, Twitter, where are we going?
So get.clt.re.
All kinds of good stuff. Also, if you're looking for me, I am at PacMat73 on Twitter. We're always looking for guys like Kai that can bring the information from all different angles on this. Make sure to stick around.